look at these headlines. Even left-leaning outlets are slamming Biden. Just look at them, all of them. Vivek Ramaswamy with me now. Vivek, it should be clear to everybody that Biden simply cannot be president for another 4 years. My question is, though, how will the Democrats force him out before the election? How are they going to do it?
Well, the reality is, Stuart, the first step was having this debate in the first place. This is the earliest ever televised presidential debate in U.S. history, and the first one that occurred before the nominating convention of either party. That was not an accident. The Democratic camp, supposedly Biden's camp, but it was really the Democratic machine, argued for this and negotiated for this for a reason. The reality is they deserve to be honest with the American people now. Who is actually running the country? Who is in charge of the United States of America? After last night's debate, I don't think there's a single person at home who saw that who believes it's Joe Biden, because it's not. But we deserve a government that tells us the truth. And I think one of the concerning questions for right now, not even the election, I'm talking about today, the next few months leading up to the election, is who is actually leading the United States of America? The Democrats and the White House have not offered a clear answer to that question. And if they tell us that's Joe Biden, we now know that is a lie.
And that is 100% the truth. And Trump hinted at it. He hinted at it at the debate. He talked about it at several different rallies. He's talked about it in different interviews. And he said, listen, whoever it is, and he was in previous interviews or in previous rallies, he was talking about how he was being persecuted and political persecution and all of that stuff. And he basically was saying, listen, whoever is behind him or around him, those are the people. He probably got some really smart people around him, but they're incredibly misguided. We know it ain't Kamala Harris. We know that she don't have the marbles up here to even think her way out of a wet paper bag. We know that for a fact. Kamala Harris did an interview on CNN with Anderson Cooper where she was basically having a note session. And she made a mistake and showed it as far as, what she was referring to or her talking points. And then she jumped on another interview and was using the exact same talking points and exact same phrases. So we know that she's being handled and, whatever it is that she says, she's being told to say. But the question then becomes, who's running the White House? Is it Obama? Is it a bunch of handlers that's being directed by lobbyists? Is it Bill Gates? We have no clue whatsoever. And so the level of transparency in this country is troubling, at the very least. It's absolutely troubling. And so because Biden don't even know his right from his left, is no way that you're going to sit here and tell me that this guy is handling on a regular basis. Now think about it. You and me, we work relentlessly. Like we work 12, 13, 14 hours. And a lot of times I got to get in, I be tired. You're telling me this guy is on the campaign trail, crisscrossing the country, doing interview after interview, meeting with the UAW, running the free world, going to the G7. Get out of here. That guy that we seen on the podium yesterday, no way, shape, or form. And so Vivek is making a great point with regard to what we were witnessing with the debate last night.
And Americans, I think, demand the truth because our security determines and depends on it.
That's true.
There's supposed to be another debate in September. I think it's September the 10th or the 11th. The 10th,
might be debating somebody else.
Do you think it'll take place?
I don't think it's going to be a Trump-Biden debate. Trump has no reason to debate. The people of the country saw what they needed to see. Last night was a sad enough spectacle of Joe Biden. Donald Trump did great, but it was a sad indictment of even the existence of a U.S. president who's not even present in the White House today. So I think it would be a disservice to have a Trump-Biden debate. But I do think that the reality is the Democrats may have a very different plan that they have yet to be transparent about with the public. And we're going to have to see what happens in the next 2 months on that front.
Former Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill, she's wondering why Kamala Harris or Gavin Newsom aren't throwing their hats in the ring. So, Vivek, who do you think will run if the Democrats push Biden out? Who they got?
Well, look, I think they have a lot of people who are aspiring to that seat, but they have an identity politics problem. They have a Kamala Harris problem. If there's one person who's less popular than Joe Biden, it is actually none other than Kamala Harris, the person waiting if something happened to Joe Biden to take the presidency. So the reality is they have to pick somebody who solves that woman of color label. That's what they've adopted. It's their words, not mine. that I think have shackled their range of choices. I think Michelle Obama checks that box. I think many people who check even one of those boxes of being diverse, I think they're tethered to that in a way that makes it very difficult for them to put up another person that otherwise would fail their own identity politics purity tests. But the reality is plenty of other people want to step up into the void. The reality is they have been non-transparent. They have lied. They've lied about the fact that Joe Biden is running the country. And I think that dishonesty persists no matter who they put up. Funny, Stuart, you were at the debate. When I was at the NBC debate last fall, one of the things I said was the Democrats needed to be honest that it was not going to be Joe Biden as the nominee. It was laughed off by the left as a conspiracy theory then. Well, it's become reality today, and we have to confront that truth.
And I think that that's true. Listen, I'm not sure what the play is. I know that the Democratic Party is in shambles, 100% shambles. The more that they parade Joe Biden out, and if you're telling me that he's going to stand up there for another debate after the Democratic National Convention as a nominee, as the official nominee, and they're going to parade him out, especially considering that they've been on the campaign trail collecting money. He's been showing up to NAACP dinners, trying to pander to black people and all of that. Get out of here, bro. We don't want Obama again and Michelle. We don't want her. We don't want Kamala Harris. We don't want a woman as president. We don't want Hillary Clinton. You know, we don't want any of these people. We certainly don't want Gavin Newsom because he's ran San Francisco and California into the ground. And I just don't understand the hate for Trump. I genuinely don't. I don't understand the hate for it. He was actually beneficial for the country for the time that he was in presidency. He went to war with a terror war with China in order to equal the playing field, renegotiated the North American Free Trade Agreement, brought countless foreign dollars from American companies back on American soil with the tax cut, had record low unemployment. I mean, you name it, you can go on. But black people, one thing I know about black people in particular is that they're emotional. But yeah, man, I think that the Democratic Party is in shambles. I absolutely agree with everything what Vivek is saying. And I don't know who they're going to parade out there. But if I had to bet, I would say that they are 100% going to double down and triple down on Biden. Maybe the play is for Biden to become president of the United States of America, know that he's still being handled. Somebody else or some other people are actually running a free world through Biden, basically giving him cue cards in order to do whatever it is that he's going to do. And maybe the next play is to somehow, some way, get a leg up and say Kamala Harris is the next president of the United States of America, through understanding that Biden probably won't make it another 4 years, possibly. I would never wish death on anybody. But maybe that is the play. I do not know at all. But Kamala Harris has been on the campaign trail independent of Biden, and I just know it's in shambles. But this is historic, unprecedented. We've never seen this before, but it's something to watch. It's absolutely entertaining. And unfortunately, it's entertaining at our expense, the taxpayers' expense, and American citizens' expense. I love you guys. I appreciate y'all. Tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. I can't wait to read y'all comments. I love y'all. I appreciate y'all. Let me know what y'all think is going to happen.